InkDifferent Studio. Pick up your brush today.
Welcome to the InkDifferent Studio. This is Fiona. I would like to also welcome you to our Chinese calligraphy course, a captivating journey into one of the most ancient and respected forms of artistic expression. Chinese calligraphy is not just an art. It is profound cultural heritage, recognized globally for its artistic and historical value. This course will offer you an opportunity to delve into the elegance and depth of Chinese calligraphy, exploring its unique blend of written language and visual art. But this is not all. Chinese calligraphy is renowned for its therapeutic benefits, enhancing calmness, reducing stress, and improving mindfulness through the rhythmic motion in brush movements. These benefits make it not only a cultural exploration, but also a practice in mindfulness and personal tranquility. In this course, we will be practicing the 1,000-character classic and spending a total of 1,000 characters, including the title. You will be learning about the origin, structure, and composition and more of each character, and you'll be uncovering the meaning and significance of each character as well. And of course, we'll be explaining each sentence. You will also witness the portrayal through Chinese calligraphy in 3 distinct scripts. Each lesson, there will be a detailed demonstration of how to write the characters using traditional brushes, allowing you to understand and practice the stroke order and techniques required to master the art of Chinese calligraphy. However, you are not required to have any pre-existing knowledge of the language at all. In this course, we will be focusing on these 3 scripts. First of all, the seal script. We will delve into this ancient script, tracing its origin and embracing its timeless beauty. While less prevalent in daily writing, it holds profound cultural and historical value, often found in seals, inscriptions, and artistic endeavors. Standard script. The standard script is deemed most practical for modern-day use. It is characterized by its clarity and readability. It serves as the cornerstone of contemporary Chinese writing. Next, we have the running, or the so-called semi-cursive script. This kind of script is known for its fluidity and expressiveness. Mastering this style offers a pathway to the brilliant and personalized handwriting technique, adding flair and character to the written word. And lastly, I would like to invite you to embrace this journey. Along the way, you should be discovering the therapeutic benefits of calligraphy, nurturing not only your artistic skills, but also your overall well-being. Our course will feature the classic Chinese text, the 1,000-character classic, 千字文. This text is not only a cornerstone for Chinese calligraphy training, but also a rich source of history and philosophy, making it perfect for both beginners and seasoned enthusiasts. The 千字文, translated as the 1,000-character classic, is a unique Chinese poem used as the premier for teaching Chinese characters to children. It is renowned for its ingenious composition, wherein none of its 1,000 characters are repeated. Composed by Zhou Xingsi during the Southern and Northern Dynasty, around the 6th century, the text is not just a linguistic tool, but also a collection of moral and philosophical teachings. The 1,000-character classic has been used traditionally in Confucian teaching, providing a fundamental literacy resource that also encapsulates essential elements of Chinese culture and wisdom. Each line consists of 4 characters, with the lines grouped into sections for easier memorization. The content covers a wide range of topics, from the basics of the cosmos and the natural world to the principles of human conduct as the fundamental of statecraft. This text not only helps in learning Chinese characters, but also in appreciating the depth and breadth of Chinese literary tradition and cultural values. It has been an important educational text in China and other Eastern Asian countries, influenced by classical Chinese culture. Join us as we trace the strokes of history and artistry in our journey. Whether you're looking to broaden your artistic skills or immerse yourself in cultural heritage, this course promises to be both educational and enriching. Also, do not forget to follow this channel for our regular course updates. Before we begin our course, let me share a few words about Chinese calligraphy. Chinese calligraphy, a venerable art form steeped in history, is much more than just a method of writing. It is a profound artistic expression that resonates beyond the confines of language and cultural boundaries. This art, characterized by its dynamic strokes and rhythmic grace, invites appreciation and practice from enthusiasts around the globe, regardless of their native language. The beauty of Chinese calligraphy lies in its universality. The way it conveys emotion and aesthetics appeal without the need for verbal understanding. The art of the brush transcends the mere transcription of arts. It embodies a deeper spiritual dimension that speaks to fundamental human experiences and emotions. As an art form, Chinese calligraphy teaches patience, precision, mindfulness, qualities that are universally revered and can be cultivated by anyone with an interest in its discipline. It makes it an enriching pursuit for people from all walks of life, encouraging a dialogue between cultures through the shared language of art. Thus, learning Chinese calligraphy is not confined to those who speak Chinese. It is a gateway to a richer understanding of human culture and artistic expression. It serves as a bridge that connects diverse cultures, fostering a greater appreciation of heritage and artistry across the world. Whether you are drawn to its aesthetic beauty or its meditative process, Chinese calligraphy offers a unique and enriching experience that is both culturally significant and personally rewarding. Let's take a look at the Chinese calligraphy development. We shall start from the oracle bone script, 甲骨文. The earliest form of Chinese writing, oracle bone script, emerged during the Shang Dynasty, which was around 1600 to 1046 BC. This script was primarily used for divination and engraved on animal bones or turtle shells. It features pictographic and ideographic characters, which are the ancestors of modern Chinese characters. Next, there came the bronze script. Following the oracle bone script, the bronze script was used during the Zhou Dynasty for inscriptions on bronze objects, such as ritual vessels. This script formalized many of the characters found in the oracle script, leading to a more standardized form that influenced later styles. These ancient scripts can now be combined and be called the large seal script. Contrary to them, we also have the small seal script that is coming next. Seal script, particularly the variety known as the small seal script, became prominent during the Qin Dynasty, which was around 221 to 206 BC, when the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, standardized this writing form. This script is characterized by thin, tapered strokes and rounded forms, making it elegant and highly decorative. And then there was the clerical script. Developing during the Han Dynasty, clerical script, or the official script, was a transformation from the seal script, adapted for brush writing. It features a more linear, legible style with pronounced serifs and a structured form. This script facilitated faster writing and became a practical tool for royal and governmental documentation. And then there was the cursive script, which was also known as grass script. It is the most abbreviated and free form of Chinese calligraphy styles. Originating in the Han Dynasty, it emphasizes speed and expression over legibility, strokes and characters may be radically transformed or connected, with a focus on the motion and spirit of the writing rather than the strict form. However, there was also the regular script. Regular script emerged in the Eastern Han Dynasty and was later perfected during the Tang Dynasty. It is the most common script in the modern Chinese calligraphy and typography, known for its precise structure and balance. Each stroke is clearly defined, and the characters are uniformly sized, making the script the foundation for learning Chinese writing. But around the same time, there was the running script, which is also known as the Semi-Cursive script. It was developed as a faster way to write while maintaining legibility. It is less constrained than the regular script, allowing for more fluid and dynamic movement of the brush. This style bridges the gap between the formal regular script and the more expressive cursive script. Each of these scripts represents a different aesthetic and practical evolution in the history of Chinese writing, reflecting changes in social, cultural, and technological contexts. Together, they offer a rich tapestry of visual art that continues to be both practiced and revered in Chinese culture today. Now you will understand how the three scripts that I have selected offer a comprehensive view of the Chinese calligraphy tradition. These selections span the breadth of the calligraphy landscape, promising both practical utility and aesthetic delight. I am confident that you will find them enriching and artistically satisfying. In addition to creating a comfortable and relaxing environment with a quieter room, good lighting, a stable table, and comfortable chairs, it is important to change into comfortable clothes and lay out the equipment, which I will introduce shortly. You may also consider lighting some incense to enhance the ambiance and allow yourself to fully immerse in this slower-paced atmosphere, particularly after a long day of work. Take several deep breaths to concentrate yourself and prepare for the session ahead. You might be wondering what you will need to embark on this journey. Well, the good news is it is not too complicated. The most essential item you will need is a decent brush. I suggest a mixed hair brush for beginners. These brushes contain usually goat and weasel hair as a mixture, and the brush combines the merits of both hairs, making it just as strong, yet it can contain sufficient liquid. Next, you will need either liquid ink or ink sticks and ink stone to grind your own ink. In addition to a decent brush, the ink, you will also need rice paper, specifically 宣纸. There are three main types: the raw, the half raw, and the ripe. For calligraphy practices, raw or half raw rice papers are typically preferred. If you're familiar with rice paper, you will know that raw rice paper tends to smear ink easily, rendering it hard to control. To maintain the authenticity of calligraphy practice while minimizing smudging, you can opt for the half-raw variety. It allows ink to smear at a slower pace, giving you ample time to perfect your strokes. In addition to the essentials, there are a few other items you might find useful, all listed for your convenience. However, there's also a much simpler and environmentally friendly solution for practice sessions: the water writing cloth. In recent years, the development of the water writing cloth has presented a sustainable and economic alternative for practice sessions. For calligraphy practice sessions, this doesn't really work for the painting, unfortunately. This innovative fabric mimics the texture and responsiveness of traditional rice paper, but requires only water instead of ink. Brushes glide across the water writing cloth, leaving a dark mark that visually resembles ink on rice paper. These marks vanish as they dry, allowing the cloth to be reused countless times. If you're in need of art supplies, feel free to visit my shop. I personally curate each product with care, ensuring that they meet high-quality standards. Rest assured, I only endorse the items that I wholeheartedly stand behind, drawing from my extensive art training and experiences since the age of 5. So, if you require such supplies, please consider supporting me. With your help, I will be able to create more comprehensive and improved courses in the future. You can find the shop link in the description below. Now, with all the preparations complete, let's now embark on our calligraphy practice. In this first session, we will concentrate on 3 characters that form the title of the 1000-character classic. The character 千 originally represents 10 sets of 100, which is a fundamental concept that remains unchanged throughout history. Its extended meaning denotes numerous or abundant. In the Oracle bone script, the character 千 is depicted with a horizontal stroke above the figure of a person to denote 1000 as the cardinal number. This is a stand-alone character, which means it is its own radical. It has a horizontal left sweep on top, and then a character that means 10 on the bottom, which is composed of a horizontal line and then a vertical line. This character has only 3 strokes, and we will write it from the top. This character, 字, means character in this context. It has a house as exterior, and there is a child inside. This character meant women carrying and then giving birth to offsprings, which later evolved into a symbolic representation of one's identity. And this character represented a part of one's name. In this context, as I said, it means character, simply means character. Nowadays, this character has a smaller roof part and has a character that means child under it. Basically, the structure remains the same, only that the house got smaller, making this character a top-bottom structure, and we will write this character from the top. This character, 文, originated from the Oracle bone script, and this character resembles the intricate intertwining patterns. As you can see in the second example, there is a heart in the middle, which actually shows this character derives also from the character of heart, representing virtues. There is another variety of this character with a dot inside, but the dot basically means nothing special. It's purely decorative. This is also a stand-alone character, and we will start writing it from the top. Now, let's explore how these characters are written in these 3 specific scripts. I will start by practicing with you on the water writing cloth, using water and the mixed hair brush, and then I will demonstrate it using ink and rice paper. Let us first start with the seal script character of 1000, 千. It is also very simple, but as you can see, the strokes are rather fluid and really cursive. And the overall shape of the characters in the seal scripts are always narrow and thin, so try to follow this kind of character shape. And steady your hands as you move along the paper. So now we're still building the house, and then inside this house we're going to put a child. And this child, as you can see in the coming scripts, remained rather similar looking. Remember, this next character used to mean patterns, so we're going to make beautiful, unified patterns. Regulate your breathing as you write along. Try taking deep breaths for each stroke and try not to breathe in the middle of the strokes. Now let's try writing directly using ink. This rice paper I've chosen is a raw rice paper. This paper comes with a certain color. This color resembles an ancient shade of brown. Now let's go back to the water writing cloth and practice the regular script of these 3 characters. After the left sweep, there is a long horizontal line, but the horizontal lines are never completely horizontal. They always go upwards. The last stroke is a vertical line that has a needle on the bottom. For the character of 字, we have the top and the bottom. The top takes about a third of this character, and the bottom takes about 2/3 in total. So when you write it, you gotta make sure the center stays stable and the top doesn't take too big. The difficulty of this last character basically lies in the very, very final stroke. We have the dot, the horizontal line, a left sweep, make it all thinner so far, and the last one make it stronger. This one is thicker right now and has a stronger point at the bottom, and then it goes rather flat rightwards. When it comes to the running script, everything gets connected and a lot faster. So basically, the stroke orders can be changed, and there are indeed several ways of writing each character, but we're going to follow the most regular stroke order for these. Pay attention, the connections between strokes should be a lot thinner than the main strokes. As we wrap up our session, I hope you found it enjoyable and insightful. If you have any questions, comments, or simply want to share your thoughts, don't hesitate to leave me a message. If you find this session informative, please remember to give me a thumbs up. Also, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on our future sessions. Discover, learn, and create with us as we bring the best of Chinese culture to the world. Join us at InkDifferent Studio, where art meets heritage. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time.
For more information, check us out at inkdifferentstudio.com.